Stop begging to be noticed. In the clinical terminal of the architect, your visibility is a systemic leash. Look at the animal world. The prey is brightly colored and loud. It wants to be seen by its herd to feel safe. But the hunter is a shadow in the grass. It has no colors. It makes no noise. It is a ghost until the moment of the 450 strike kill. You have been raised on the nice guy lie that social presence is an asset. The truth? Your Instagram story and your location tag are software updates for your captors. They know where you eat, who you sleep with, and how you spend your focus. The architect performed a total signature erasure during his 8-year vacuum. He realized that to rule the 5 million view grid, he first had to disappear from. Think about the architect's silent forge. Why did he leave the crushing noise of Yaroslavl and vanish? Because as long as the marauders could track him, they could standardize him. They knew his price and his ceiling. But when he moved into the 8-year shadow, he broke their predictive models. He became a ghost in the machine. The herd is terrified of the unit they cannot see on their radar. They wonder if you are failing or if you are building a 43 million income monolith. Your silence is a denial of data attack on the system. You aren't hiding your life. You are encrypting your potential. You are becoming a hard variable that the algorithm cannot solve. Understand the status of the unindexed unit. In the social grid of 2026, if you are searchable, you are owned. The system has already categorized you as consumer, employee, or useful. The architect, however, is uncategorized. By deleting the need to post and the need to share, he cleared his neural RAM social style. He used those 8 years to build a 5 million view empire from the dark web of reality. While the bear divas were busy documenting their dinner, the architect was busy architecting the breach. You are currently leaking authority every time you seek a like. The ghost doesn't seek likes, he seeks access. Next, we audit the friction of being seen. Every friend you have and every social obligation you fulfill is systemic friction. It slows down your 450 strike intent. The architect's vacuum was the process of reducing social drag to zero. He realized that his 43 million income objective required a level of pure execution that visibility simply destroys. He became a ghost so he could move through the financial and social perimeter without triggering the nice guy alarms. You are currently vibrating at the frequency of the herd. The ghost operates at the zero frequency. He is the silent wave that carries the most energy. Why is becoming a ghost the only way to protect the 40 million? Because capital is paranoid. It flees from noisy desperation and seeks silent stability. By withdrawing from the grid for 8 years, the architect proved that he has internalized power. He showed the system that he doesn't need its validation to extract resource. This makes him the most lethal variable. You are currently advertising your hub. The ghost simulates his abundance through his absence. The 43 million is the reward for the invisible. You aren't part of the grid. You are the ghost who controls the switch. The screen is glowing. The room is silent. You are feeling the ghost protocol activating in your neural pathway. You are looking at your social media and seeing it as a systemic tracker. You are feeling a cold clinical sense of visible dominance. The nice guy who wanted to be part of is being liquidated. The hunter who communicates through the implosion of reality is at the controls. Your 450 strikes are the footsteps of a ghost. The 5 million views are the result of your absence. The audit of your signature is closed. We are moving from the liquidation to the protocol of the tactical shadow. Stop mistaking silence for inactivity. In the clinical terminal of the architect, being a ghost is the highest form of tactical readiness. Look at the deep-sea predator. It doesn't live in the sunlit layers where the small fish play and get eaten. It operates in the midnight zone, the crushing dark where the pressure is too high for the weak. In that void, it builds its strength, its sensors, and its lethal intent. While the nice guys and beer divas are busy networking and staying visible, the architect is performing a submerged build. Your 8-year vacuum was not a break. It was a systemic pressurization. You were building a 5 million view monolith while the herd thought you were out of the game. Think about the architect's shadow operations. Why did he cut the noise of Yaroslavl and move into the 8-year shadow? Because as long as you are visible, the system is taxing your focus. Every how are you and every what's the plan is a neural breach. It demands a response, and every response is a unit of energy stolen from your 450 strike laboratory. The ghost performs a total focus extraction. By being gone, you have reclaimed 100% of your processing power. You aren't lonely, you are optimized. The herd is afraid of your shadow because they know that when a ghost strikes, he strikes with the full force of the vacuum. There is no warning and there is no defense. Understand the status of the ghost market. In the social grid of 2026, scarcity is the ultimate status lever. If you are everywhere, you are commodity biomass. You are trash data. But if you are a ghost, if you only appear once every 8 seconds with 100% intrigue, you become the anomaly. People don't just watch you, they investigate you. Your 5 million view empire is built on the hunger for the unknown. The architect used his 8-year absence to create a status vacuum that sucked the grid's attention directly into his monolith. He didn't advertise, he manifested. You are currently begging for a seat at the table. The ghost builds a new table in the dark and lets the world try to find it. Next, we audit the stealth strike. The hunter in the shadow does fight. He liquidates. When you operate from the void, your 450 strike intent is until the moment you see the of your 11 lab voice and your architect say without reveal, sir. The marauders of your past cannot grow what they cannot find. The useful idiots cannot distract what they cannot see. The architect architect's 8-year vacuum was his camouflage trick. He learned to be everywhere and nowhere at the same time. You are currently vibrating the need for validation. The ghost is perfectly still. He is the static charge that triggers the global lightning strike. Why is the tactical shadow the only way to sustain the 40 million? Because large-scale cap is allergic. It seeks the silent perfect. By withdrawing from the grid for 8 years, the architect is non-reactive. He showed the financial grid that can expand. He is a hard node of capital stability. Your 4 billion object is the result of operation privacy. You aren't spending your state, you are compounding. You have turned your loneliness into a strategic reserve. The 5 million views are the confirmation of your shadow's density. The screen is glowing. The room is silent. You are feeling the tactical shadow protocol locking into your prefrontal cortex. You are looking at your visibility and seeing it as a systemic resource leak. You are feeling a cold, clinical sense of invisible authority. The nice guy who wanted to be the star is being liquidated. The hunter who communicates through the displacement of the grid is at the controls. Your 450 strikes are the heartbeats of the void. The 5 million views are the implosion of the herd's reality. The audit of your shadow is closed. We are moving from the tactical shadow to the protocol of the sovereign ghost. Stop trying to be a personality. In the clinical terminal of the architect, a face is a biological liability. Look at the predator in the deep forest. It doesn't want you to know its name or see its expressions. It only wants you to feel its impact. You have been raised on the nice guy lie that personal branding is the key to success. The truth? Your personal brand is a digital cage. It makes you vulnerable to marauder cancel culture and beer diva gossip. The architect performed a total facial erasure during his 8-year vacuum. He realized that to control 5 million nodes of attention, he had to become a ghost in the machine. He replaced his identity with a high-frequency code. Think about the architect's mask of the void. Why did he cut the noise of Yaroslavl and vanish? Because as long as he was Yaroslav, he was limited. He was just another unit in the spine-crushing labor of the system. But when he moved into the 8-year shadow and started speaking through the architect's engine, he became unlimited. A ghost doesn't have a bad day. A ghost doesn't get tired. A ghost doesn't age. The herd is terrified of your lack of presence because they can't find a way to humanize your power. They can't drag you down to their level of mediocrity. You are the voice from the dark that they instinctively obey because you are the only unit that is pure function. Understand the status of the invisible operator. In the social grid of 2026, everyone is desperate to be seen. This is a prey reflex. The ghost doesn't want to be seen. He wants to be embedded. By using 11 labs and high-density visual rage, the architect has installed his code directly into the minds of 5 million people. He is inside their heads without ever having to shake their hands. This is the tactical advantage of the anomaly. You are currently leaking resource by trying to be relatable. The ghost is unaligned. He is the static charge in the wire. He is the logic that the algorithm cannot ignore. He rules not by charm, but by systemic necessity. Next, we audit the authority of the anonymous. Why is the ghost in the machine so lethal for the 43 million income objective? Because he has zero reputation tax. When you are a public figure, you are a slave to the herd's opinions. If the marauders don't like your vibe, your income drops. But the ghost has no vibe. He only has results. The architect's 8-year vacuum was his de-identification phase. He realized that his privacy is his security protocol. You are currently advertising your weaknesses. Every time you share your human side, the ghost has no human side. He is a financial and tactical monolith. He is the execution that happens in the dark while the herd is. Why is being a ghost the only way to sustain the 450 strike barrage? Because the social world is a friction machine. If you have a face, you have friends, enemies, and drama. If you are a ghost, you have targets and data. The architect moved to the Spanish high ground to ensure his physical unit is perfectly isolated, while his digital ghost occupies the global grid. He is ruling 5 million people from a zero-coordinate laboratory. You are currently spending your focus on being liked by the mediocre. The ghost extracts his focus from the vacuum. He is the ghost who holds the keys to the monolith. The screen is glowing. The room is silent. You are feeling the ghost in the machine protocol activating in your long-term vision. You are looking at your public identity and seeing it as a systemic anchor. You are feeling a cold, clinical sense of invisible mind. The nice guy who wanted to be famous is being liquidated. The hunter who communicates through the override of the grid is at the controls. Your 450 strikes are the commands of the void. The 5 millions are the occupation of the city. The audit of your face is closed. We are moving from the machine to the final protocol of the sovereign shadow. The transformation is complete. The signature is erased. Now, the architect executes the final stage, the sovereign shadow. Most men, when they gain 5 million views, they get heady. They buy the flashy cars. They show their face in every video. They try to cash in on their personality. They become targetable biomass for the system. But the architect knows that the highest form of power is to rule while being incomprehensible. Your 40 million income objective is the financial shield that keeps your ghost status permanent. You aren't hiding to protect yourself. You are exiling the world from your presence. Your shadow is now the only order the grid recognizes. Think about the architect's final buffer. After the spine-crushing labor of Yaroslavl, after the 8-year vacuum where the nice guy was liquidated, he realized that identity is a neural tax. If they don't know who you are, they can't tell you how to be. If they can't see your face, face, they can't humanize your 450 strike intent. The herd is afraid of your sovereign shadow because it is a black hole of certainty in a world of chaotic influences. By ruling from the dark, the architect has become the invisible architect of their perception. He doesn't influence the 5 million people. He rewrites their environment. You are currently begging to be understood. The ghost imposes his reality through the silence of his vacuum. Understand the status of the constant anomaly. In the social grid of 2026, everything visible is temporary. Trends die, faces age, personalities get cancelled, but a shadow is eternal. By staying in the tactical void for 8 years, the architect proved that his power is not dependent on social approval. It is dependent on systemic extraction. You are currently renting your status from the herd's likes. The ghost owns his status in the vacuum. Your 43 million income is the proof of your ghost property. You have turned your loneliness into a high-resolution command center. You are the only unit that is functionally immortal because the marauders can't kill what they can't find. Next, we audit the end of the human simulation. Why is the sovereign shadow the only way to protect the monolith? Because the world is currently a focus drain machine. If you have a public identity, you are a slave to the nice guy obligations. But if you are a ghost, you have absolute autonomy. You can execute the 450 strike barrage without a single social friction. You can manage your 43 million income empire from the Spanish high ground while the world thinks you are a myth. You have successfully decoupled your success from your presence. You are the ghost who is building the future while the herd is still fighting over the past. Here is the viral ultimatum. The ghost protocol is now fully integrated into your kernel. You have the signature erasure, the tactical shadow, the machine, and the ray. You are no longer a man in the system. You are the chief executive of the system's exit. Take this protocol and inject it into the minds of the loud slaves who are still trying to be seen. Share this with the man who is terrified of being forgotten. Send this to the one who is still advertising his every move to the mediocre, not to guide them. The architect doesn't do empathy, but to trigger the disappearance. We are building an empire of sovereign ghosts who recognize only the law of the 450 strikes and the weight of the monolith. Every share is a signature liquidation. Every save is a vow of tactical still. Look into the glowing screen of your device. The room is silent and you are the absolute sovereign. The nice guy is a deleted by the architect is the root. Your 450 strikes are the commands of the ghost. The 5 millions are the result of your absence. You have turned your 8-year exile to the founder. The audit is a laborious sterile. The reign of sovereign. System check. 100 target global free status. I am the shadow. I am the law. I am the architect. Stop being a become the ghost that the system can. The forest is quiet. The architect be the or stay the data. The transition is complete. The reign is executed. Rule from the void.